Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. So good to see you guys again. I'm sorry that I missed Avengers Infinity War. I'm back now. We're gonna keep it kind of small today. We only have Jenna and Matt today. We're here kind of early, so we're all getting some caffeine, getting our breakfast. We just want a nice Sunday movie day. And I think it's a good one to do this with because it's also Ant-Man, and so it's gonna be funny. And I think that that's gonna be good for us. We've been talking, we haven't been getting burnt out, but it's just been so many superhero movies. We were discussing maybe we should take a break before we get to Endgame, and I'm like, I really don't wanna do that. I love this movie. I saw it, I've only seen it maybe once or twice because it's one of the newer ones. It's not like Iron Man 1 where, you know, it's been out for over 10 years. There are some really memorable scenes. It's a really fun movie. I think that you'll really enjoy it. And I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I've forgotten that I'm gonna really enjoy as well.
We need a break from superhero movies, so we decided to skip Endgame altogether.
Yeah, we're not gonna do Endgame. We decided we might as well. It's just too controversial. We're just gonna cut it out.
JK.
Matt, are you looking forward to this one?
I am. I like Ant-Man. I really do. I like his character. I like Paul Rudd. I definitely need a lower key movie. Maybe not slower pace, but just not every single moment is so holy crap monumental.
I know what you mean. Even me like editing the Infinity War video that I wasn't even a part of, there's just been such like the stakes just keep getting higher and higher and just so many grand moments. I feel like it'll be nice kind of going back to this one a little bit more grounded and fun. It still ties in. It's not Infinity War and it's not Endgame.
I do want to say I miss the crew. I love all of you, and I know everybody in the comments have they really have fallen in love with everybody that's become a part of the crew, and I'm so grateful for that. But I am excited to have it just our close niche little crew.
It's knit. Close knit.
It's niche.
That's not a word. Niche is a word.
All right, moving on.
Matt and I have talked a lot in the past about before our channels got big, because for 3 years I was consistently making content and was just kind of around 1,000, 2,000 subscriber mark for so long, to now where it's like we make these videos and it's tens of thousands of people watching them. It's a big change, and that's what this whole year has been. The whole purpose of us making videos when nobody was watching and we weren't making any money from them was because we truly love making the videos. And so anytime there's ever like a switch where we're like, man, it's just getting so stressful trying to pump this out so much. Like I'm making like 25, 30-minute long videos weekly. I'm essentially making a TV show with the amount of time that these videos are. Now, I think for the next 2, we're just gonna kind of dial it back a little bit again, kind of go for those more intimate movie watching where we just enjoy watching the movies and talk about them afterwards. And then we'll go to the big build up with everybody in Endgame and end it kind of on that. We're gonna do Far From Home, obviously, but let's face it, Endgame is really the big thing. I know that this one may feel a little different. Just bear with us and let's get into it. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
The only way in was to shrink between the molecules. It should have been me, but my regulator was damaged. Your mother saved thousands of lives that day. I think it's possible to bring her back.
Of course it is. This is Marvel.
This is the best birthday present you ever got me. I'm so touched you think I'm the world's greatest grandma.
Who's the only one they have?
Just like you land the plane. You gotta land the plane to be in business.
I know it's silly to get hung up on these kinds of things, but I do.
How am I gonna land a fish? You can't walk.
Hey, you try and entertain a 10-year-old when you can't leave the house. You know the lengths that I've gone to? Close-up magic. I learned that.
And avoid any unauthorized activities, technology, or contact with any former associates who were or currently are in violation of said accords or any related statutes. Okay, sweetie?
Wow, you're really great with kids.
Thanks, I'm also a youth pastor. Anyway, not to be a Johnny.
I found you.
The hell?
It's a tunnel to the quantum realm.
Be out here.
Holy crap.
Find out. I want some names.
It's still a work in progress.
So if we had an old suit, we might be able to track down the lab? Life's funny.
Oh my god, you didn't destroy the suit.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey!
Oh, Peanut.
Hiya, champ. How was school today?
So cranky.
You want a juice box and some string cheese?
Do you really have that?
Slices.
You don't need the suit to, go through things.
No.
She is creepy.
You're funny.
Another casualty of Hank Pym's ego.
Bill.
Oh, is that truth serum?
There's no such thing as truth serum.
It makes you suggestible and highly responsive.
Well, dude, that's truth serum.
No, it's not.
No fencing, but they sound like true serum to me.
Right?
How long have I got?
A couple of weeks, maybe.
He has a daughter, right?
You can't mean that. I tolerate a lot of the things you do out there, but I won't be a part of anything like that. You lay one finger on that little girl, I won't help you.
Because when I first met Scotty, he was in a bad place. And I'm not talking about Cell Block D. I'm getting there.
You put a dime in him, you gotta let the whole song play out. He'd like human jukebox.
Oh, the woods.
The woods? What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I don't know how much time I have. I need to fix the algorithm.
Janet?
Oh, Jelly Bean.
Tell us how to find you.
No, the probability fields are too complex.
Bullseye.
Source lock.
You get the lab.
We have a man down and Pym's lab is gone.
So maybe you just need someone watching your back. Like a partner. Me.
You?
Don't laugh. I'd be a great partner.
What's up? You don't remember that beloved commercial? What's up?
I just wanted to save Ava. She's facing death or something far more terrible.
I'll help you find a cure when I get back.
Guys, everything's bad over here. Please.
Well, the 60s were fun, but now I'm paying for it.
Come here, you little weasel. Oh, no, you don't. That doesn't belong to you.
I'm calling it now. They both can't go back, but they're gonna stay there and live happily ever after together.
I'm just gonna go to sleep now for 5 minutes.
What if this process kills Janet? We have to find another way.
Janet!
Mom? It always hurts.
Oh my god. Kiss my ass, Ant-Man.
Go, please.
We can make it, Ava. I'm not leaving you.
Daddy!
You wanted a smaller quantum tunnel. And don't get sucked into a time vortex. We won't be able to save you.
Mic check. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Healing particle secured for our new ghost friend.
4, 3.
Hank! Hope? Janet! Guys!
This was crap.
What? Why? See, I would not say it was crap, but
This is a notch above Doctor Strange.
why so harsh?
This was probably the third worst movie in all of the MCU.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that.
This is real bad. This felt like a cash grab. No offense to whoever's making money in this cash grab. But this this entire movie could have been wrapped up in 10 minutes. The high points could have been wrapped up in 10 minutes in the next movie. I don't want to say it was pointless, but it was, we got to get our hands on that building again for the 4th time, and his suit was breaking constantly. It just got to be annoying. The main plot was handing off a building, and the suit breaking, and then I didn't like it.
There's a lot that happens in this movie. It was still touched on in the first Ant-Man, but especially in this one, that does play a role later on. So it wasn't just nothing, it was just there. There are important elements that happen here that do take place later on.
The real hero in this movie is Bill. The only character I like really grabbed onto. Like, he wouldn't let Ghost take Ant-Man's kid. Like, he wouldn't compromise.
Yeah.
He only wanted to do the right thing.
He still had like a moral compass despite his personal issues with Hank Pym.
No, I do agree that there were some high points in this movie that were necessary, but it did not warrant an entire film. So Mom's been gone for 30 years. Miraculously, she comes back. You know how I feel about that.
I will say, this wasn't on camera, but Jenna said earlier, she's like, well, what has she been eating and drinking this whole time?
And that was gonna be, I wanted to highlight that. So eating, drinking, what about that? And I know people out there are like, well, because of the quantum realm, you absorb this energy and that's what sustains life and all that. Like, that piece is never really explained, which I think is a very easy thing to do. So if you want to say that she was able to survive off of the energy or whatever, why was that not established? Maybe it's because of people like myself that look into the minute details. Maybe they didn't think it was necessary to point out, but we've talked about that before, how that's a distraction.
30 years down there, still had her lipstick on.
I will tell you that I liked how this movie picked up. It picked up really quickly. There wasn't lag time. They dove right into it. That was cool. I enjoyed that. Now, I will tell you that this quantum realm, this whole concept around it is, of course, very difficult for my brain to wrap itself around. So I think that is partly my fault of the harshness, maybe. It's really not the acting. Acting I thought was pretty good. The humor was good. The action wasn't too bad. It was just the story itself was, why are we here? Why are we doing all this? So I do want to point this out. Is there the quantum defibrillation? Is that it? I wonder if there's any, yeah, I know.
That just sounds wrong.
I know, that's definitely not right. I wonder if there's any logic whatsoever to this. Is there any sort of basis?
I mean, obviously I'm not an expert on quantum physics, but there are elements of truth interwoven into that. I'm really trying hard not to say things that will spoil things in the future, because there are things that, like I said, this movie connects to later. We talked during the movie about those little creatures when Hank Pym kind of gets stuck kind of halfway through.
Yeah.
Those are real. I did know that. There is some truth. I don't know to what extent, if I'm being honest.
All 3 of them were trapped by Ghost and old school shield guy, whatever. They had all 3 of them trapped, and then the bad guys had what they wanted. They were walking away, and then he's like, oh, my pills, my heart. It was almost slapstick, it felt like, and that worked. He handed them the Altoid box, and that was their out, and then they were just out of the building on to the next scene. It was just so cheap.
We did establish that Lawrence Fishburne did have like a moral compass still. He wasn't just a bad guy for the sake of being bad. But I get what you're saying. All they had to do was open it, and that led to the series of events that got them free. Is that what you're complaining about?
And you're right, maybe that moral compass piece, because he did he defended the little girl when he was like, I'm not, so you know what, I'll retract that. I'll retract that.
Because I feel like that was consistent with his character throughout the movie.
I retract that statement based on that. Good call. I do want to say this. They had an accurate medical scene. Great job on that. So whenever they were hitting fast talking homeboy with the truth serum, the angle that they went in is usually they usually go at a 90-degree angle. They went at a very good angle. Granted, you don't use a metal needle to inject somebody with, but that's besides the point. They got the angle right. Good job. I know nobody gives a crap, but I noticed. Good job, guys.
There's been a lot of standalone movies in the MCU so far. The difference with Black Panther is that we understood that this was a backstory about Wakanda and vibranium and Cap's shield, and it all kind of, even though it was very standalone, you understood some of the terminology, and it was a backstory about things that you already understood. I understand that this movie is more of explaining things to come, but it just felt so separate and standalone that it just didn't feel at all part of the MCU whatsoever. I think the other thing is the rest of the movies are usually the hero in the movie is trying to save a group of people, and that wasn't really the case. They were trying to save
Mom and the villain, but they weren't trying to save the villain, but at the end they did.
The movies seem kind of formulaic so so far, and this one was very different as far as the
Motivation
plot
stuff.
and the motivation. Yeah.
I feel like we're also getting to that point where it shows how spoiled we've become to superhero movies. Because I really don't feel like this is a bad movie by any measure. I thought it was funny when it was supposed to be. It had some good heartfelt moments. But kind of like you said, it's just, I think we're definitely spoiled. Because we can't quite put our finger on why this didn't do it for us. Maybe it's because we've seen some of this stuff before. Even visually, kind of the effects kind of begin to, it just feels the same. That is a common complaint among people, that some of the Marvel movies start to feel more formulaic. I feel like this kind of was, even though they had different kind of motivation, people coming after the building, and maybe they dragged that on too long. But I don't know what it is, but for some reason it's just a fun movie, and that's about it.
I know exactly what it is, and the first Ant-Man was good. This one wasn't. The points that I'm listing really are the exact reasons why I'm like, meh. I will say that of all the cameos that Stan Lee has done, which I love that. I love seeing him. I wait for it. Like I'm always chomping at the bit to see what they're gonna do. This is probably one of the funniest ones that they've had him do. It was kind of random, but I thought it was funny. The 60s were fun, but now I'm paying for it. I thought that was really funny.
It just felt like they just stuck it in there. Like it wasn't funny to me.
I thought it was pretty funny to me too, actually. So.
Sorry.
Old mom came back. What a shock. I will tell you this though, I'm not happy that she came back. I mean, you say she's dead or she's lost forever, and she's not lost forever, but what would have driven me even more nuts would be if Dad went back, the whole movie was to bring her back, and I've adjusted myself to be like, all right, she's coming back, and then Dad gets stuck down there with her, and we're like, for another movie, then we have to be like, we gotta go get them both. So for a split second, it's almost good that they came back. I may retract that. I don't understand why the villain, when she was getting in that time warp thing, whatever it is, how she was doing that and trying to cure herself was gonna kill Mom.
I also felt that was kind of like a weird explanation. Like, why would they need to focus in on her instead of the quantum realm as a whole? Like, did there have to be a person in there for her to be cured? I will say, you're gonna like this point. I remember when we were watching her come out and just like put her fingers on the girl's head and that like healed her. I 100% agree that I thought that was crap. I was like, what is this? She just has like these incredibly convenient powers. I agree that I thought that was a weak cop-out.
My next comment was gonna be, what the hell was that David Blaine move that she pulled with the glowing fingertips? That was probably the worst part of the movie, and so unexplained and so convenient. You're right.
The only great part of this movie was the end credits where they all vanished. And that's why, like, I got goosebumps.
How did you like that part, Matt?
I immediately started nodding my head like, okay, I'm good with that, because at least it was consistent with the crap before in the last movie.
Like, while that's happening, I'm thinking about Infinity War, and Cap is there at the exact same time, and all that stuff happened. It's cool to think like locationally the events that are happening simultaneously.
I have a prediction. My prediction is that everyone that vanished went to the quantum realm, and now that Ant-Man's stuck there with his suit and all his little gadgets, that's how they come back.
What are your predictions based on everything?
You can't predict anything with these movies.
What do you think is going to happen?
Nobody's gonna die, but in the very end, they're gonna have this cliffhanger that's gonna keep y'all waiting for the next 3 years for the next movie to come out.
I would probably rate this probably about a 6. I feel like it might deserve higher, but just in comparison, because I could watch this movie probably anytime. Like, I have no problem with it. Like I said, I think it's just a fun movie. Probably a 6 for me.
I'm kind of torn because it wasn't a bad movie. Like, it's one of those where you could like sit down and watch it and it's just kind of fun. It's not, there's no anticipation. There's no like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen?
It's like a really good like falling asleep movie, like a movie to have on the background, like while you go to sleep.
It's hard to judge it separately and not like, because an MCU movie, I don't really like it, but as just a regular movie, it's okay. I agree with you. I'll say a 6.5.
Can't wait to hear what you're gonna give it, Matt.
I always give this rating based on it's an MCU movie. You know, if I was able to objectively step back, just watch it as a movie, maybe I would give it a different rating, higher rating, I don't know. But I would optimistically give it a 6.5. Naturally, I want to give it a 6, but I will give it a 6.5 for the point that you made about his, the Altoid thing and just a few things that sort of add up, because I want to be optimistic. At least the ending tied in. One thing I did not mention, not one bygone gem moment or anything even close to a bygone gem moment. I take it back, it's getting a 6.
You said you didn't get goosebumps or anything when you saw them turn to dust. What did you feel about that? Because I remember seeing that in theaters and had the same reaction Jenna did, where I was just like, oh my gosh, because you just realized everything was very much tied together, and the consequence of Infinity War, and we're gonna keep seeing it, spreads over all these movies.
The whole floating away thing, obviously, in Infinity War, I was like, what the hell is this? But I was, yeah, sure. But you said it gave y'all goosebumps?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We're starting to feel those ripples now. And it just pulled me back into the universe, I guess.
Yeah, it was like an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Like it pulled you back to the MCU again.
And it's also not only them disappearing, but he's freaking stuck there too. He can't get out. And then it, of course, leaves you on the cliffhanger, so you gotta see what happens next.
Thank you for both relaying that, I appreciate it. I think it's because I don't respect the floating away piece because it's not, I know that it's not supposed to signify death, but obviously there's this oh my god moment, like, oh my god, the heroes are floating away, and Tony's holding Spider-Man as he floats away, and oh no, his cute little voice, and he's floating away. Here's the thing.
That's so emotional with it.
Because they toy with my emotions. Because here's the thing. We know these aren't real consequences. We know there's not real gravity to this. So like you said, how Ant-Man is stuck in the quantum realm, there's gonna be some button that he forgot he had up his asshole that he'll be able to click. Yeah. I want to see it in the comments. I want to know what you guys think about this movie as a whole, because you know all three of us, we read the comments. I want to know what you think about this quantum realm thing. Does anybody out there, because I'm sure there's somebody out there, probably a subreddit, that is all about this quantum realm thing and the logic or possibility or whatever? I want to see it in the comments.
Speaking of subreddit, there's a fan-made subreddit, Holden Hardman. It's got a lot of funny memes, and
so good.
I love going on there just periodically and seeing the funny memes. So if you didn't know about that, because I think I only shared it like on a community tab like once in the past. If you don't know about it, you should do that and make memes, because we all love them. They're all hilarious. That's it, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. It helps my channel out a lot. Comment down below, as we've said before. I enjoy reading those. If you would like early access to videos like this, consider supporting me on Patreon. It's a great way to do that. As always, we appreciate you watching. We're gonna catch you in Captain Marvel next week. Thank you guys. Take care.